And welcome back to Pure Nebraska. Mondays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm group called the Alliance for the Future of Agriculture in Nebraska, or AFAN.
Today, AFAN is connecting us with some experts on how to choose steak off of a restaurant menu. Joining us today is Adam Wegner with Nebraska Beef Council and Brandon Harpster. You are the chef at Single Barrel here in Lincoln.
Yes, ma'am.
Great restaurant. So thank you both for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, we like to have steak.
Yeah, pork chops, steak.
Yeah. A lot of times we get a ribeye.
Brandon does a great job with that, I understand. I have not been at your restaurant yet. I got to get there.
Well, hopefully we can have you down pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds good.
We want to. Every time we drive by, we're like, we have to go there. So, Adam, what are some of the most popular cuts of beef, would you say?
Well, when people go out to a restaurant, usually they're looking for a great eating experience. They're looking for a higher quality steak. And so most of the time, you're going to see some of your favorites, like you'd mentioned, a ribeye steak. Filet is a really big one as well. But you also see some great value steaks like a sirloin. And if you're looking for something maybe a little bit smaller, there's petite sirloins that are starting to pop up on a restaurant menu, which are basically the same thing, but just a smaller portion. So maybe a 6 or 8 ounce versus a 12 or 14.
Yeah, that's good, and could save you a little bit of money, maybe too, doing the petite fillets that you're talking about.
Right.
But Brandon, what things should a guest consider when ordering a steak off the menu?
I think the thing to always consider when looking at which steak to order is some is price. There is going to be a little bit of price fluctuation and how much you want to spend, but I think a lot of it has to go to is what kind of flavor or eating experience are you looking for. If you want a steak with maximum tenderness, then you're going to want to look at a filet. If you like a steak with, you don't mind a little bit of fat on it, you're going to look at a ribeye. Or I always kind of say in between that is the New York strip, which is my personal favorite. So there's always some several options when you're looking at different kinds of steaks.
And then how you cook it too. You know, I came from a farm, we raised cattle. And so my dad and my grandpa always like to have a little bit of that fat on there, and they like it rare. What is the most popular? Medium rare, would you think, for taste?
Probably medium rare. Medium rare, medium is the best. I always say if you're going to look at maximum flavor and tenderness out of a steak, medium rare is probably, medium rare to medium is the best place to go.
And there are certain levels of doneness. And what should a person, maybe Adam, what should a person request?
Yeah, we always tell people everybody has a different preference. And as you see there on screen, there's a lot of different ways that you can order your steak. But the main thing is to, especially if it's the first time at the restaurant. So if it's the first time that you go to the Single Barrel and you want to order a steak that you typically like medium rare, just ask the waitress or the waiter that's there to confirm that it's going to be cooked the way that you want it cooked. And so maybe at the restaurant they cook things a little bit on the rare side, so that you want to adjust your ordering preference accordingly.
Let's say somebody has a restricted diet. What should they think about?
Well, I think always want to look for something that's on the lean side. We talked about smaller portion sizes as well. So look for something on the menu that is a portion that's appropriate for your diet. But then if you're looking for something lean, like Brandon mentioned, the strip steak is a very good one. A filet is really lean as well, so high in a lot of those nutrients as well. So those are all things to consider. But the good news is when you go to a restaurant, there's all kinds of beef menu items out there. In fact, 30% of the menu items at most restaurants contain some sort of beef. So there's a lot of options when you go out there.
Brandon, not a lot of time, but what is the importance of beef to the food service industry?
It's hugely important. It is probably our most profitable item that we have on our menus, but then also one of the most popular too. People in Nebraska, we mostly serve Nebraska customers and they love beef. And then when people come from outside of Nebraska, they want to come to eat beef. And so it's really a driving force for sales for us.
Real quick tip, how can we make a good beef steak at home?
I always just think you can sear it in a really hot pan. Baste it with some butter as you're cooking it, and if you want to get it up to a higher temperature without worried about burning it, you can always finish it inside a hot oven.
Okay. Good
Good to know. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks, you guys.